During this past election in Chicago, the Board of Elections moved the polling places. Okay, so if there wasn't a peace among the various organizations in the street, if they moved the polling place from Disciple Building and they put it in the Stone Building, that Disciple wouldn't be able to go vote in the Stone Building without getting shot. That being peace, they go where they move the polling places, the people could go and vote. We have, just give you, an instance of what I'm saying here. During Harold Washington's election, I think from 8 to 10,000 people came out to vote in the 3rd Ward. This past election, since it was peace in the street, 19,000 people came out to vote for Curl.
So in many instances, this divide and conquer politics, which is age-old, is to the benefit of certain political groups and to the disinterest of our own black community, and so that's why it's allowed to continue and fester, and in some ways be promoted.
Right. That's the plan that they use. They've been using that on us for the longest. I was fortunate to go over back home. I was fortunate to go to Northeast Africa, okay? And the reason I say Northeast Africa because I went to Jerusalem, Bethlehem, I'm talking about the Holy Land, so everyone can understand that the state of Israel is in the land of Israel, which is in Africa, okay? When I come back to the States, I no longer say I don't know what's wrong with my brother or my sister. I realize that what has happened to us as a people is that we was taken from our homeland. We were stripped of our culture, our identity, our language, our religion. So we don't know each other, okay? I realize over there that you could very well be my brother or my cousin down to a linkage. We've come to realize that we've met each other on the road, you and I, and this is not being hypothetical, and realize we came out the same neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We came out of Morgan Park. I'm just telling you now, what if we afforded to trace our roots and realize our family may have came out the same hut? You see what I'm saying? So, where before I may have cursed you, I said, no, I ain't going to talk that way. It might be my brother. I may curse your sister. I'm going to talk, may be my sister. You see what I'm saying? I'm definitely not going to just curse your mother. She may be my auntie. You see what I'm saying? With the nations, I brought that to them, for them to have identity about themselves. Okay, what was happening in the nations, it was split. One was about 5-point star, which is the crescent. One is about the 6-point star, which is the Hebrew star. Okay? I let them know that when I went over to Jerusalem, the Holy Land, where you see all the churches, I went to Mount of Olives. Okay? They teach us that Russians are atheists. They got one of the biggest churches on the Mount of Olives. Okay? I let young brothers know that the 6-point star is the Star of David. Not a Jewish star, it's a Hebrew star. Okay, which is a linkage to God. We're talking about Moses. We're talking about David. We're talking about Solomon. We're talking about Jesus. Then we're talking about the angel that brought the word to Muhammad, which is the 5-point star. You follow what I'm saying? Yet Muhammad went back to Jerusalem and ascended to heaven. He didn't ascend to heaven in Saudi Arabia. You see what I'm saying? So then the young brothers realized, wow, because they spiritually sound, So they realized that they were getting blamed for all the killings in the streets. Okay? If somebody died during a domestic squabble, okay, and the individual may have had a gang tattoo on his arm, they say they use 2 words, allege and appear. Allegedly, they may have been involved in gang, okay? Maybe in gang. It appears that there's a gang involvement. You see what I'm saying? So when we came together for peace, okay, the African American nations, okay, or gangs, so that people can understand. What they understand when I speak about nations, I'm putting the positiveness into which they turn gangs, which is deceitful, the same way that they do black and white. okay? Then they realized that the Hispanic organization was killing more of their own than we was killing more of our own. Then they realized that the white gangs, see, they broke it down. Now it became ethnic, okay? When Mayor Daley said the gangs are not going to work, they don't believe the truth, I say to Mayor Daley, your father was in a gang called the Hamburgers, okay? He turned the gangs around and made it political. Therefore, he became the mayor. I say, give the nations the same chance to assume responsibility to govern their own communities, okay? And there'll no longer be gangs, okay? Daley's son was involved in altercation. You know everybody up in Michigan, okay? When Daley got up and cried, we as parents cried with him, okay? He was a bad child. How could you know, it's this Daley attitude. My son, Patrick, was bad, okay? How could he do this? Yet, his son took a group of guys to another state, okay? They were underage, no supervision, no adult supervision. They have alcohol, drugs, and guns in the house, okay? That young guy got hit in the head with a bat, went to the hospital, okay, and had that happen in our community, Brother Banks, that would have been known as mob action, attempt murder. Had happened at your house and that been your child, you would have been charged with negligence for leaving your child home alone with no supervision, okay? Yet, Daley's son get community service. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, crime is a crime is a crime, okay? And the punishment should be for everyone righteously, okay? Don't say that your son can have a wild party and that's not a gang. But if it happened in my house, that's a bunch of thugs. They ought to be killed, kick him over to the shed. Daley just appointed a Hispanic to take over an automatic spot for another Hispanic that was elected to the state senate. Okay? When the young guy get up and explain his past, he get locked up twice for pistols, gang affiliation, get locked up for possession of drugs. Daley say, well, let's give him a chance to do better. I'm for all that. Let us have the same chance to do better when they try to do better. You follow what I'm saying? Statistics have proven it. Since the truce went into effect October 25th, okay, crime in the CHA went down 64%. Okay, in Caprini Green, after Dantrell Davis was killed by the sniper, and we went there, and that's the first time we did the truce piece, because we're going all over the city. We go north, which is where Caprini Green is at. We went to Inglewood on the south side, then we hit the west side, okay? You know, to let everybody know. No murders in Caprini Green, okay? Armed violence has went down. No shootings. How could this man kind of say it's not working, okay? We get our statistics from the trauma unit, okay? Where there was once 5 and 10 shooters coming through there at night. It was broke down for 3 or 4 nights, no shootings. You see what I'm saying? It's working, and I understand that they're perceiving the gang problems in Peoria, okay? They're looking for a solution, okay? Yeah. We have a solution, okay? It's called family intervention, which is your churches, your business leaders, your political people, your community activists, okay? It's as simple as the parents sending word through their children to the streets. You know, again, being hypothetical. They can tell their child, Johnny, I don't know if you're in the gang or not, but I think it's wrong. We hear this guy named Billy is running the gangs, you know. I think it's wrong for Billy to be doing this. If he's concerned about controlling his neighborhood, he should let it be known that it's wrong to stick up a senior citizen. It's wrong to snatch a senior citizen's purse when they be standing at currency exchange. You feel what I'm saying? Take control of your community. You know, you okay? You go back out and send word. But you know, my mom said something real interesting. Only way you can get respect and love for your community is do the right things in your community. What I did with 432 young brothers that were in the gang, okay? I made them become deputy registers, therefore became respectable citizens, therefore became former gang members. Now they're into nations. We have a voter registration drive called Ballots instead of Bullets. We registered over 25,000 people. Okay? Instead of the young women and guys taking brown bags into their house with a Uzi inside of it or some crack, they went in there with 50 voter registration sheets. Okay? Their parents see them with this. That open dialogue. Their parents say, do you know people died for the right to vote? Oh my, they did? Again, that's mother wit. That's what we had.
Back in the hood.
Back in the hood. You see what I'm saying? I'm glad that God used me as a vehicle to do this. Because I believe that God has that power, you know, excuse me for being vulgar, to lock your bowel movement up, to closing your mouth. Okay? A lot of people say, Gator, why are you so holy now? You know, that's what, for lack of a better word, you know. I tell them, if they read the scriptures, Moses was just like me. David was just like me. Moses was a murderer. David was a murderer and an adulterer. You feel what I'm saying? Yet God used them. Okay? So, peace is happening not just here in Chicago. It's happening around the world. Okay? You see where the warlords came together in Somalia. You see where Nelson Mandela and Buthelezi is talking now. Okay? You see where Europe is coming together. There's no more wars in Europe. Now all the wars are being fought in Africa. Man. You got 25 states in Africa. That's their war. You see what I'm saying? So it's a serious thing that is happening in peace. No one wants to see African Americans come together for peace.
Help our viewers appreciate why not.
They don't want to see us come together for peace because then we realize that we are not a poor people. We spend $320 billion a year. That's our market value. That's why every ethnic group come at our market. You see what I'm saying? Everybody comes to the black market. Everybody comes to us, okay? You can see the stores in our community, okay? If we're not killing one another, they say, well, what's the solution to the drugs? Like we getting all the drug money, which we're not. We say, okay, all the brothers in these nations, because they also families. You know, they got mothers, fathers, sisters, and brothers, aunts and uncles and cousins. This nation gonna open up a store, a grocery store. He's gonna cater to the African American market like other ethnic groups cater and barter and come for our market and advertise for our market with the one promise and the commitment. If you buy from his store, you're not going to have to worry about your son not being able to get a baseball glove or a uniform to go into a baseball team. That's going to be his commitment for you going into his store, which is the thing we need to take to all the other stores. But why we bother with them? Economics.